Hi, and welcome to the TA Leader Series, where we get the chance to talk to some of the leaders in the industry and hear what's on their mind, what their perspectives are, and learn a little bit from their expertise. And today I am thrilled to have my longtime friend, Jim Fox. Jim and I go back a long time, and if I tried to give your background, I'd go on too long. So Jim, let me ask you to introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Well, and Mari, you know me well enough to know that I can go on too long myself as well. Um, my name is Jim Fox. I am responsible for the human resources function for a multi-location behavioral healthcare organization headquartered in Ohio. And I also do consulting work. My side hustle is doing work as the People Fox, helping companies evaluate and streamline and improve their talent acquisition, talent management processes.
And as I've mentioned, Jim and I have known each other a long time. We share a lot of the same passion for the industry and the desire to make it better. And I think that's what ultimately makes people really good at what they do, is when they really care about it. But
Mari,
Jim,
hey, if I may, Mari, I can't
yeah,
see I can't see a car commercial without thinking of SparcStart. Because that was your analogy from the get-go. Nobody opens up the owner's manual to buy the car. They see the commercial, they get excited about what that car can do for them, and they go check it out. Starts the conversation.
as you know, I came from consumer packaged goods, and it would never dawn on Procter and Gamble to post the usage instructions on the back of the box, on a screen and say, "Here, buy Tide." That's not what it's about, and yet we do that from HR all the time, and we've known how to persuade people, and we know how to engage people, and yet HR goes to the market with job descriptions, and it really
Right.
we can do better than that. But there's part of what's I'm finding really interesting in the industry right now is there are really sizable shifts going on in the industry. Both, obviously AI is changing a lot. We've got millennials coming to the marketplace. We've still got some backlash from COVID going on. We've got this whole return to work, work from the office, or work from home. There are a lot of moving parts going on right now. And it really is, I think, for a lot of TA leaders, they're a little deer in headlights going, I've got so many moving pieces out there. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm supposed to be gearing up for manic hiring or if I'm supposed to be gearing up for layoffs. Just tell me which way you want to slam me and I'll do it. But what's your perspective on the market right now? What do you see going on out there?
Well, Mari, I would say the answer is yes to the question. Am I supposed to be gearing up for layoffs or for hiring? And the answer seems to be yes. Even in the same functions within an organization, as we continue to go through what a professor of mine referred to many years ago as the whitewater of change, and I wonder how she would describe it today. We have organizations that are undergoing that whitewater of change, requiring different skill sets, or presuming to require different skill sets that create these situations where people are being laid off in a function at the same time that other people are being hired for opposing reasons. And and even beyond that, when you talk about the market, Mari, I see this tale of two markets where a position can be posted and receive literally hundreds of positions within an hour. Mm-hmm. And then we have positions posted that couldn't get a qualified candidate, if their life and maybe even a non-qualified candidate. Right. But as a function, I think also, how do we make sense of that to manage, if you would, the organization's integrity or the organization's reputation within the industry? Because when candidates see positions that are posted for 6 or 9 months, they question if the organization knows what they're doing, or the organization knows what they're looking for, or if the organization just has something wrong going inside of it. And go ahead.
And rightfully so. I mean, clearly there's some mismatch going on there. Something has to change. If you've gone 9 months without filling a role, yeah, there's some mismatch going on. And so, of course, the candidates code. But go ahead.
And they do. A few years ago, I made a pitch to do a speech with a good friend of mine in an organization that invests a lot of money in compliance. And the pitch was unpost your jobs.
Mm.
If you set a threshold, and if you get 100 candidates to apply for a job, turn it off for the sake of the candidates, for the sake of your organization's reputation, and for your sanity as a recruiter, right? And an ability to work effectively with that hiring manager. If we weren't able to attract the right candidate in that first 100, you have to ask yourself, are we playing the right commercial, Mari?
Mm.
You know,
Mhm.
do
Right.
we know what we're looking for that we're able to attract somebody within that first 100? And if we're not, open the job back up again. Hey, guys, if you're listening to this, please know you can do that and be compliant. Turn the spigot off. Go through the candidates, evaluate the candidates, evaluate yourself, and work with your hiring manager to confirm the needs. And if they're not at that 100, tweak your message, take on a different
Mm.
strategy, and get another 100 candidates. And in that case, in the other case where their candidates are not applying, it takes a serious look in the mirror to identify if you're being competitive in the market. Not just from a pay standpoint, but from an operational standpoint and from a reputational standpoint. Or are you looking in the right place for the candidates that you need in order to fill the organization's objectives? So
Or have you given them the information so that they can make a well-informed decision to opt in or opt out? I'm quite frankly appalled now at seeing the number of products where you put in a job title and it generates a job description for you. How accurate is that? Yes, and in theory, all salespeople do, they uncover prospects and they identify sales and so forth. But when you get down to a specific job, I think candidates are looking at a tremendous amount of just generic information, and none of it resonates with them. None of it helps them say, there's a place where I'm going to thrive and succeed. Oh, and that's the kind of job that I don't want. That's not going to be a fit for me. So let me not waste everybody's time and apply to this one. I think it makes such a difference when you give people good information.
Mari, that's such a real sentiment, and it shows that we expect candidates to be leveraging AI. We expect them to invest time in customizing their application to the job posting. Isn't it incumbent upon us to take the time and make the investment to leverage, not rely on, but to leverage AI, and to look in the mirror and to really work with that hiring manager to identify what the requirements are versus the things that they could give on, so that we can put our best forward and attract the best candidates. Because the world you described, Mari, it made me feel like what I say, my professor, Dr. Diana Stone, by the way, talked about the white water of change. And what you described made me think it's the beige wash of recruitment. The candidates are throwing their stuff over the wall. We're throwing our job posting over there. And at the bottom, it says other duties as assigned, which is a very compelling reason to apply for a job. But I think that gets to the point, then you have candidates who are applying for anything and everything. And so you're getting hundreds of candidates in an hour. Or you get candidates who have the wherewithal to say, no, that looks like everybody else. Best on a good day, it looks like everybody else. And on the worst day, it's suspect. Is it when candidates are also inundated with concerns about jobs being valid, or and that can be everything from a huckster, if I can use that term, to a company who has a job posted that they don't necessarily intend to fill, or a recruiter who's just trying to fill their stable with qualified candidates that they could maybe use later. People need to know the difference. They need to know that their energy is going to be reciprocated, and that what they're applying to is compelling to them, and the effort that they're going to is going to be evaluated by, frankly, Mari, by a real person who's going to see them for the 3D behind the 2D, if you would, of the resume.
Yeah. And that trust is so huge. I mean, I talk to companies every day that are lamenting the ghosting problems they have. People are just dropping out at all points in the process and never taking the professional courtesy of announcing that they're withdrawing for whatever reason. And I see, but you see it happening on both sides, and we're quickly automating to this point of complete inefficiency.
Yeah.
Yes. We've got candidates, we're talking about, oh, it's more efficient. We're going to use AI for greater efficiency and all of this. But what you've got is you're just adding more volume to an already inefficient system. We're hearing people that are getting, as you say, hundreds of applications, many of them generated by AI, and the candidates don't even know they've applied for them.
Right.
They've just sent something out there that say, apply to everything that has a manager title to it, or everything that has a marketing title to it, or everything that has a healthcare title to it. And I'll sort them out later to see who's interested and who bothers to apply for me. A lot of these candidates have no idea where they've been applied to, but employers are doing the same thing, which makes it really hard. So given that that's the market you're in right now, what are you doing to differentiate the roles that your team is looking to fill?
All right. Thank you so much for that question.
Good. I'm glad you can answer it.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's a hard
because,
one.
well, again, and I would say it's a look in the mirror or a soul searching opportunity to recognize that in our space and where we are positioned within our space, that if we're going to hire behavioral health care, mental health care, and substance abuse counselors, our best bet is to grow them up and through the university system. So over the course of the last year, and with the help of the state of Ohio, plug for the Great Minds Fellowship for the state of Ohio, we've invested a lot in cultivating and really expanding, and then also deepening our relationships with universities to bring those students up, to attract people into the industry, and to give them opportunities, real opportunities through internships to measurably impact people's lives and identify sooner rather than later if that's where their passion is. I was just talking with one of our interns, and she said, I don't think service is for me. I'm going to go get my PhD. Mm-hmm. I thought, right. What an empowering notion. And I had another one who said, yeah, I came and not ever imagining that I wanted to be in the schools, but gosh, I love working with kids. And so what we've done is hone our message, and we're working to finalize a landing page dedicated to interns. Mario, you'd be proud of me, with videos, with video testimonies yes. from interns, and and then also a kind of a meet and greet opportunity, a video with supervisors, so they can see the kinds of people that they'll be experiencing in the workplace. And through the course of that, over the last year, we've tripled. So 3x the amount of interns that are coming through the system. Wow. Yeah. And I just had we just hosted an intern social at the end of March, really espousing that fact to the participants, people from the universities, as well as the student interns and our staff, to help them understand it's not even just about Family Resource Center. It is about growing the capacity to help us deal with what I don't think is going to go away anytime soon in terms of what is an international healthcare crisis. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I love that you're giving a realistic preview. I'm going to, knowing you, I'm going to believe you did not script any of those people in those videos, that you let them talk and you let them deliver their genuine message. And I want to say students can tell, but we can all tell. We can all tell when someone's speaking genuinely from the heart and when somebody is reading a script. And having that authenticity is huge. It's giving people enough information so they can make a well-informed decision to opt in or opt out. And that ultimately helps your efficiency as well, right? Because for the person who wants to go to be a PhD, you don't want to bring her in, train her, and 6 months later have her go, well, thanks, but this is not for me. It's great.
Mari, there's no trickery. And I think I hopefully I will make you proud. There's certainly question prompts, but I've been a huge advocate of more raw and less polish in our videos. Let's make them real, because you can see that, Mari, what you talked about in terms of the genuineness. You can see it in less than an instant in when somebody says something, or the, the turn of their lips, or the wink of an eye, that they're saying something that's true to them.
Yep. And it resonates and it's powerful, and there's just no
Yeah.
two ways about it. And, you think about when a friend sends a video, whether it's, they're at a concert and they're all excited about it or whatever, it may not be in perfectly, grammatically correct sentences, but we all interrupt ourselves in the middle of sentences. We do it all the time. And when you have that kind of spontaneity to your language, it's huge. It just really reinforces the credibility. So can't say enough about that.
No,
Very,
right
very
on.
cool stuff. I love it.
Well, and Mari, you've always been a great advocate too of managing the time of that. So I wonder if people are still listening to us go on. But it makes me think of TikTok, because my wife will sometimes, she'll pull up a TikTok video, and I'm thinking, didn't it used to be 15 seconds or 30 seconds? Get to the point.
Yeah.
Get to the point. Get the message across to me. Don't make me wait for the baby to do what the baby's going to do that's going to make my day.
Right.
And again, you've always been a great advocate of being honest, being raw in that, and keeping the message short so that people can move on to the direction that you want them to do, which is to choose opt in or out.
Yeah. And particularly in attraction, under 30 seconds. You go over 30 seconds and you've lost them. Until they're committed to the job, committed to the process, they're just not going to spend more time. So with that theme, we will be respectful of all of our viewers and say there's such good information here. We don't want to discourage them by making this longer. So Jim, let me thank you. As always, I'd love to talk to you. It's always fun and exciting to hear what you're doing. Appreciate it. Appreciate the work you're doing. And thank you for being part of the TA Leader Series.
You too. Thanks, Mari. Thanks for your time.
Bye-bye.